You know, fuck, I'm gonna have to record this video while there's cars passing me by. I look probably like an idiot right now, but you know, who cares? They're all gonna forget. All these cars passing by, they're all gonna forget about this embarrassing moment tomorrow. But anyways, it's a side topic. So, what's going on, guys? Hi, my name is Ahmed. If you're new to the channel, I'm just a 20-year-old kid, second-year community college student, live with my parents. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. And what I want to talk about today was the fact that, like, no one really tells you, like, no one, for the first time in my life, I'm, like, genuinely the most confused I've ever been. And also, no one is really telling me what I should do with my life anymore. You know, let me explain. So, growing up, you know, everyone kind of goes through the same route, you know. It was preschool, and then you go to kindergarten, then elementary school, then you go to middle school, then high school, and then you graduate from high school, and then you go to college. But even by the time you get to college, and I'm in college right now, by the time you get there, you realize that, like, you thought someone always had an answer. Like, there was always someone to look up to, in a way, if that makes sense. But now that I'm really, like, here now, like, now that I'm here in college, and I'm 20, like, now, like, no one, there's no really one to look up to now. Like, you know, there's no blueprint or, like, way to live life that anyone's gonna tell me how to live. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, there's no one there anymore to tell me how to live my life. And that's kind of scary because, you know, for the first time in my life, I'm, like, genuinely so confused. Like, genuinely I'm at the point where I'm so lost and confused in my life where I don't even know where I'm gonna be in 6 months from now. Like, it's really that bad. It's really that bad. So I don't know if you guys, any of you watching, are going through this right now, or you have gone through this feeling, or if you haven't yet, and you're maybe a little younger than me. But yeah, man, that's really how I feel right now. Like, no, like, when you grow up, you realize, you think, like, these people that are older than you, you know, these adults, they have it all figured out. But in reality, like, no one really knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, genuinely, everyone. Once I gotta cross this fucking road. But yeah, so as I was saying, like, now that I'm all grown up and shit, I guess if you want to call it that, like, I realized that everyone's kind of just, like, faking it till they make it, in a sense. Like, everyone, dude, literally, I'm not even excluding anyone, dude, regardless of who you are or age. Like, dude, no one really, like, this is all, like, I think I've said this in a previous video before, but this is all our first and last time going through living this life. So it's like, it's really, we're all just kind of going, we're kind of just, like, winging it for the most part, like, all of us, really. And I don't know, I thought there was going to be certainty about what I'd be doing in my life by this age. You know, I thought I'd be at a certain stage in my life at this age, but none of that shit happened. So yeah, it's really kind of scary because it's kind of like a double-edged sword, if you want to call it that, because, like, no one is telling you what to do anymore, which is, I guess, the good part of it. And then the bad part, I guess, in a way, is, you know, there's how do I say this? Like, because no one is telling you what you should do with your life anymore, that's the scary part, because you don't know, like, where to go from here, you know? Like, I genuinely don't know where to go in my life. Like, I know what I don't want. That's 100% certain. I know I don't want the regular life of, like, most people, you know? Go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a high-paying job, stable job, work in a cubicle for 40 years, retire, get your pensions or whatever, and then retirement funds and whatever shit like that, whatever it's called. And then you freaking enjoy the few remaining of your years when you're old and can't do shit, and then die. Now, I've realized that that's not the life I want. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm really certain that I know what I don't want out of the rest of my life. But the problem is, I don't know about the other side. Like, I don't know what exactly I want. I think I have an idea, of course. I have visions. I have a general understanding of what I think I would want, what I want the rest of my life to look like moving forward. But in a broader sense, in terms of, you know, success and, you know, different aspects of life and whatnot. But it's just like, you know, I don't know if I'm even explaining this correctly. Like, I don't know. But now that's, like, no one's telling me what to do, it's kind of just like YOLO, you know? Not YOLO, but I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But I don't know, can anyone, like, really, like, feel what I'm going through right now? Like, I genuinely don't even know what career I want. Like, people expect you to know what you want to do by this age, I feel like, or maybe even if you're just a little bit older. Which way am I going? Even if you're a little bit older than me, people expect you to have your shit figured out. But like, dude, I could probably ask any random 20-year-old right now. They probably have no clue what the fuck they're doing, like me. If I'm being honest, at least most of us, I'd like to say. Because, you know, all the structures in my life that were once there, you know, like education, religion, the fantasy timeline I had in my head. So all the structures that pretty much broke down, they all kind of broke in my life. They all kind of broke down within the last, like, maybe 2 to 3 years, through the last 2 to 3 years up until now. So like the education system, you know, that structure broke down. Even though I'm still in college, it's not the same anymore. That structure is gone. Religion structure is gone. You know, like what else? Soccer structure was gone because, you know, for most of my life, I wanted to become a professional soccer player. From like, I played soccer for 8 years, from age 10 to 18, and that structure is gone. The fantasy timeline I had in my head when I was 14, 15 years old about what my life was, I can't speak. The fantasy timeline I had in my head about where I'd be in life by 20 when I was 14, 15 years old, that's gone as well. So that's the fourth thing. The next one is just like, you know, parents' expectations and, you know, stuff. And all of that kind of went away in the last 2 to 3 years, I'd say, give or take. And now I'm just like genuinely like going through an existential crisis. Like, I genuinely don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. I'm really winging it day to day. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm still moving forward for sure. I'm still doing shit, keeping productive, but I really don't know what the long term looks like anymore. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't even know where I'm gonna be in 6 months from now. I genuinely don't know. And that's kind of scary because, you know, now I have free will pretty much for the most part. But now there's like no more blueprint. There's no like universal one way to live life, you know what I mean? There's no universal one way to live life is what I figured out now that I'm growing older. And that's kind of scary. So yeah, I think I kind of said everything I needed to say. Yeah, let me know if you guys relate to me at all, regardless of where you are in life or what age you are, if you relate to everything I just said in the last like 7.5 minutes. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, I don't even know what this channel is going to look like, and like what I want this channel to even be about. I think I've said what I want it to be about in the second video, but even then, I'm not sure if I'm going to go with that, what I said in the second video I recorded. I don't even know what that's going to look like in general anyways, like in specific. So I'm really just kind of going day by day right now, taking it day by day. Yeah, really just going through day by day, just winging it for the most part at the moment. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys relate to me at all, how you like where you are at in life, you know, drop a comment down below. And I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.